Hello, everybody. Welcome to Boas Podcast. I want to welcome HBO, the HBOJ team, uh, all my friends from Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, the Philippines, the Pakistan, Turkey, India, my friends from China, Korea, my friends from Russia, England, France, Spain, South America, Mexico, Canada, Australia, and a special thanks to Elsie Luceno and Yesemin Chris Savano for helping me out with uh, uh, Facebook and YouTube. And special thanks and special hi to the group of Judeans in the Philippines. I love you, brothers and sisters, and thank you for tuning in. And last time I forgot to include the United States of America. I'm welcoming you here to my podcast from New York all the way to Washington down to California, and from North Dakota all the way to Texas. Texas being the best state of them all. That's up for opinion, anyways. Today I have been given a subject. Uh, I don't know if it's a trap or if if I should go all into it. But the question is uh, a conscious relationship with God. Do we have a conscious relationship with God? I don't know if that's a question for me personally or for everybody that worship God or a God. Uh, a conscious relationship with God. Let's start with the definition of conscious, or where the conscious came from. You see, conscious mean to be alert, to be be aware of everything that's around you as real. Or it can be conscious in your mind, like when we got a conscious, it was when Adam and Eve ate from the tree. And when Adam and Eve, or Eve ate from the tree, then we became knowing of good and evil, and that's what the conscious do. And when we are doing evil, the conscious will tell you, "Hey, stay away from that. Don't do that. That's evil. Stay away from it." And when we are doing good, it gives us a pat on the back and said, "Keep on going, keep on doing it." Our conscience, which is always described as on our mind, and from the mind, it promotes or moves the heart to do something good, or tell us that we are doing something evil. And and with our conscience, then uh, we gain the knowledge of embarrassment. We when we know that we're doing something bad, we repented of it. It embarrasses us. Uh, and with the conscience, or you can go to the other aspect of conscience is being conscious, or being aware, being alert, being real. The thing that is God real to you. I mean, we're gonna go around this subject, and let's start with uh, is your relationship actually real with God? Can you? Is it tangible? Is it solid in God? Or is it? Or are you serving God because of your emotional, or because you're? It's something that was passed down from generation to generation. That you go and worship God some way, and you really don't have a close relationship with God. But the question here is: are you conscious? Is God in your life? Is He really real to you? Is God really real to us? And we I have to answer that question today. And in order to answer that question, we have to answer uh, 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 it's the soul. It's you, and in the soul, are you everlasting? All you do when you die, everything stops. There's nothing more because there's been the question and a lot of talk of people saying that the soul is mortal. That when you die, that's all. No, that's all she wrote. There's no more in your life than just that. And we have to answer that with the Bible because our instruction manual is the Bible, and I'm teaching what you call the Old Testament, the Hebrew Bible, and what God has promoted in me to do is to put His name back into His book, which His name, if you go a little way back, His name is El Shaddai. So that's what God talked to me as and I heard his voice as real as I hear the voice of any human being. And when that happens, a lot of things happen. But let's leave that for a while. It's our soul. It's your soul immortal. It's your soul everlasting. And there's a lot of people up there talking right now, especially in the atheist movement. They're saying uh, there's no evidence in the Bible that the soul is immortal. But let me just mention a little bit of the atheists, and I'll talk to about it a little bit more later on. But the Bible specifically says, specifically King David says, "He that says there's no God is foolish." So if you hear an atheist that says that there's no everlasting life, that there's no beyond this world, that when you die, everything is finished, everything is done, there's no more you. That's foolishness, and we apply that in this statement, the statement that are coming out right now, because right now there is a strong battle or a strong attack from the atheists, and I don't blame them. I mean, I don't blame them, but it is very hard to be an atheist or say I'm an atheist, and 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 uh, and when you are saying I'm an atheist, you're not fighting. You're not trying to convince me that there's no God. You are trying to convince yourself, and that's your own job. I mean, if you have convinced yourself that there's no God, even in the word atheist, you got theo, which is God, and the way things work. If you don't know the way things work, once you say a word, that word becomes what you spoke. And once you say there's no God, there's still a God there. That you say that it's not there. It's there because you just spoke it. You just spoke that till. Till means God. But the Bible says, or King David says, he that says there's no God it's foolishness. I'm not going to try to contradict him or try to fight him. It's foolishness. I'm not even going to deal with it because the Bible says in Genesis 2:7, this is what it says, and he breathed into his nostrils, or God breathed into the nostrils of Adam the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Uh, uh, the animal have a soul according to the word of God. They have a soul, and according to God, the soul of the animal is its blood. We also have blood because our body is created in the process of the genealogy or genes of a human being that represent or is connected to the animals. Our blood comes out. We come out of this body, but our soul, me, you who you are the breath of God, which is living soul. And just putting living on the soul means that you are eternal. When we talk about God, we said the living God. Why do we say the living God? Because God is eternal. God is eternal. God is lives forever, and because He breathed on us part of Himself to make Adam, He made us a living soul or immortal. So now that we are inside this body, now that his part of living, his living soul is made us come alive. Now that we are alive, we have to stay in this body until the day we expire. But from that point on, then we have to go. I mean, we are given a body of light. We are given a different body to keep on going. And there's a. I have always said this: we are upon this earth to apply for a position in heaven. We are here to apply for a position in heaven, and the more you love God, the more you're gonna know God. You see, in order to know God, in order to have a relationship, a conscious relationship with Him, you have to know Him. And he tells the Jewish people, tells the Israelites in Mount Sinai, this is who I am. So he gives the people the commandments, and the commandment it is who God is. It's what He wants out of us. It's what He expects out of us. So we read the commandment, and we Ten Commandments. Five has to deal with the spiritual, and five have to deal with ter- uh, 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 with terrestrial. And he expects us first to love Him, not to have any other gods besides Him. And that he is talking to the Israelites. He is talking to the Israelites and nobody else. He is talking to the Israelites. He's telling the Israelites, I want you to not to have any other God. The way I love you, I expect a love in return. Uh, uh, and he gives us things there, 10 commandments that has to deal with the relationship with Him and the relationship with people. And the more that we get involved and the more we know that part of God, the more we know about God. You see, there's other commandments that the Jewish people must keep. And because they keep them because it was given to them to keep, and a lot of those commandments does not pertain to everybody. It just pertains to them. And but the commandments that really pertain to all of us, because all of us were there when He God gave the commandments, or what He expected out of people through the sons of Noah. So all the sons of Noah know. I mean, they have 7 categories of commandments that He expects for the whole human race to live and to keep. So there will be harmony and love within this earth. Last week I was talking to you about the counsel of God, and yeah, there was 195 positions from nations according to the counsel of God, and there was 4 positions of power, and those 4 positions of power have to do with religion, the power of religion. There is 4 major religions, which is Judaism, Christianity, Muslims, and Hinduism and Buddhist. You say, yeah, but you just say 5 and you said there was 4. Okay, the Buddhists, the Hinduism and the Buddhists are the same, so they are considered as one power. The Hinduism and Buddhists are just like in the Christian community, like the Catholics and the Protestants, but they all are Christians, all the same religion, but they had disagreements, just like the Catholics and the Protestants have had disagreement, and they separated, but they're still one power. They're still the same belief. Uh, we have four religions there, and the uh, to the four religions here, God gave them the seven laws of Noah. As long as you keep the seven laws of Noah, you will keep on living after life, after death. Uh, then we have the issue of hell, the question of hell and the question of heaven. Is there a hell, is there a heaven? And all the religions talk, say yes, there is a hell, and yes, there is a heaven, and and the majority of the religion have written how to get to heaven and how to avoid hell. Now, where is heaven and where is hell? But let's talk, since I mentioned hell first, let's talk about hell first. What is hell? You see, in rebellion against Satan against God, before that, there was no hell because there was no need of a prison. Hell is a prison that God created after the rebellion. And He uh, created that a prison in the home planet of the rebellion. And because the rebellion is, the planet is already on fire, he made walls to control the fire. He made a crystal walls, and that's where the rebellion or the angels that caused all the damage on the creation of God are kept. The first 200 watchers are there, and everybody that followed them are there because they laid with women. So they are there inside hell. And anybody that worships them as God is there in hell. And now we got also, now we have the four religions there. And from there, all the rest of the little religions trickle down to those four major religions. But every religion has an angel over them. And the responsibility of the angel of that spirit is to get the people educated on keeping the laws of God, the seven first laws of God, and they're easy. You can eat anything you want, anything you want. You can eat anything you want. You must obey El Shaddai. You must keep you should not murder. He that murders, he will pay for that murder with his life. And you shall not eat. You should not eat an animal while he's alive. In other words, if you got an animal there, you cannot put an animal on a cage and cut a piece and cook it and leave him living there until you go and uh, 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 go and want to eat some more. You must kill the animal before you eat them. It's simple laws. And you must not eat or drink blood. Simple laws. You can eat anything. You can do anything. And plus, he said, plus you can eat the herbs. You have the food of the beginning. You eat the herbs. And I think that all the four major religions have done a good job on this. you will ask me that same question. That same question. Uh, 2 years ago. I mean, 20 years ago, then I will give you a different answer. But God has enlightened my mind and my heart, and He has told me, don't look at what the other things that people are doing. Look at what is holy in them. And as long as you're following God's laws of the Noah laws, you're all right with God. Your religion, wherever it is, you are right with God. So therefore, if you are following, if you are just taking care of each other, uh, you're not drinking or eating blood, you're not cutting pieces of an animal to eat, you have it made. It's an easy task for you to do in order to be right with God, in order to be holy. It's an easy job. And I know the Hinduism have gone a little more than that. Just eat vegetables and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter. They're following God's rules, and as long as they know that there's one God over all the gods, one God, and that's the one that they think about, and that's the way they talk to the God that is above all the gods. Because the way the things that are created, the 200 watchers that are above around the earth upon the nations, the 200 watchers, they are considered gods. They are called Elohim, or in other words, little gods, but because we have been indoctrinated a different way. We cannot say. Well, I mean, we cannot see that function of God. You see, God is in heaven. He runs everything from heaven, and he tells the Israelites. He was in Mount Sinai. He came from heaven to Mount Sinai to meet with the Israelites, and he gives his laws to Moses and to all the people while the other people are watching. And he tells them, I'm living, but I'm going to live here an angel, a spirit. I'm going to live a spirit. Listen to him and obey him because he will not forgive you if you trespass him. He is not me. He will come down on you and he will punish you at that moment that you trespass. So don't come against him. Obey him. You see, that's the way God runs the universe. He runs the universe with angels, with spirits, and the spirit that lives there for you. That's the spirit that you have to follow. The Israelites had to follow Michael from now on. After Mount Sinai, they have to follow Michael because Michael is the person or the contact that goes straight to God. And whatever you to Michael is like if you are talking to God because there's no secret there. Now, well, Michael's hears, God hears. And God gives the answer back to Michael and he passes out the mic. Or God talks to you directly. But many people cannot handle that. We are afraid of all this. You talk to God. Yeah, you be the prophet, the mediator. You see, that's the only reason that God took away or God came and put the angels in his place between us and him because the angels are not as powerful as God. But we can, like I've said before, they look like us, but they don't possess the power of God. They just transmit the power of God to us. There is Michael over Israel, and every nation has an angel, but every angel has to tell or lead the people to be obedient to the Noah laws that God gave the time of Noah. If the people are doing what God is telling them to do in the time of Noah, go and read Genesis. Go read Genesis and read the laws of Noah. If you are doing that and you are not an Israelite, you are right with God. Therefore, if you die, you will go straight to heaven. No question asked. If you do that, if you obey those laws, the law is going to make you a righteous person. The law is going to make you a holy person because God puts laws in everything. We have the questions also, the question of we are not under the law. We are living by grace. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Just look around. If you go to a place, place in here in this earth, there's no law, there's chaos. Therefore, we are under the law because once we are practicing the law, we become pure prison. If you follow the law, there's no need for you even to talk about prison. And that's how the Jewish people are. They don't care about the prison. They're not going to the prison because if they die according to the book of Psalms and Ecclesiastic, it says that the body will return back to the dust, and the spirit, the soul, will go back to God who gave it. So they are not afraid of hell because they are obedient to God. You see, when you are obedient to God, you begin to live a life of heaven upon earth. If it wasn't for all these people trying to kill the Jew will have heaven on earth because they are obeying God. They are fulfilling the laws of God. You see, it is not up to you if you're not a Jew or an Israelite. It's not up to you to fulfill or follow the laws of the Jews because those laws were only given to the Jews. Your responsibility is to go to the basic 7 laws of Noah if you are non-Israelite or Jew and follow those Jews or follow those laws. And the angels or the spirits, they are above every nation, above every religion. They have put their own writing on the holy scriptures of every religion. They have put their own scriptures. What do you do then? Well, you got more laws to follow. You got more things to follow, but only you, because that's only for you. If you are a Buddhist or a Hindu, and there are two religions that are the same religion, that's for you to keep. That's not for the rest of the world to keep. It's just for you. Same thing with the Muslims. If Allah gave you some rules, that's for you to keep. Same thing for the Christianity. If Jesus gave you some rules to keep, that's for you to keep. Now, the to have a relationship with God, especially if you are looking at the Bible, you see, not everybody is an Israelite, belongs to Israel, but they do have a way to get to heaven. God provided that. But to the Israelites, he made it even more higher, more holier. He gave them more rules, more laws that they had to keep. But it's only for them to keep, not you, unless you want to become a Jew. If you want to become a Jew, then must follow the rule. And you have to go to the rabbi and convert to Judaism. But here we go again. The rabbi, his job is to try to convince you not to become a Jew. Not to be, his job is try to convince you not to become go into Judaism. Why? Because once you decide to go into it, you must keep all the laws. When you have it made, you have made with the 7 laws of Moses. I mean, Noah. You have it made, and adding more to your load, it's going to be even. I mean, it'll be heavier on you. But some people would love to do that. They once you the rabbi tried to convince you not to join, and you still are convinced to join, then he said, "Come on, let's take you through to the whole process." So now we got Judaism, we got the Muslim, we got Christianity, we got we got Hinduism and Buddhism, which is all two religions where it's the same. But we gotta say both names because they change names. If there had been like the Christians instead of the Catholics and Christian, and then they become Protestant Christian, and everything is Christianity, then we will just call them Hinduism. But they became two different religions, or that chose people to love each other, to take care of each other. The way how to eat, how to be human. But now we come to the three religions that have something in common. The three religions that have something in common is, of course, Judaism, Christianity, and Muslims. What they have in common is that they have abducted, or Christianity and Muslim have abducted the Torah of the Jews. There is Torah of the Jews in this two other religions, and once they abduct that means they have to be into it. They have to be into obeying God to that extreme, and that's what these two religions have. That if they follow the rules that laid there in their foundations, if they follow the rules, they will make it to heaven. But there's a but. There's a but. You see, if Christianity Jewish Bible and connected to their Bible, in reality, in the country put together in Jacob, we are proclaiming to be part of God, both religions. And once you do that, you either become become into the religion of Jews, Judaism, or you're going to be failing in something. And when you fail in something, and you are not complete in Judaism, you don't become a Jew, but you are taken off of it, then there is a price for it. And that price is hell. The punishment is hell. That's a price that you pay for taking off of another religion and not coming all in full into the submerged into their religion. So it is better to cut off and produce what God has given you by yourself without trying to steal from another religion. Because if you don't, then the price they said in they said to the Jews, the price that they had to pay, you had to pay, and the Jews have paid dearly for disobeying the commandments. They had paid dearly, were their lives. Same thing with the Muslims. the Muslims, but now you have the Muslims here attaching two stories. I mean, or grabbing from two religions. I mean, if you're not a whole into it, then you're going to pay some consequences. You got two religions plus own rules that God gave you through your prophets that you have to be obedient to. If you are not 100% of the other religion, if you're not into it, then you have a price to pay, and that price comes out to be hell. Now, hell was not made